Mondays at 8 p.m., Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., and Sundays at 7:30 p.m. on CBC TV Channel 8.
AIDS awareness has been such an integral part of my existence and my life. I personally witnessed my mother and my father die before my eyes. Around that time, the stigma attached to AIDS was one generally of, it's a homosexual disease. You would have mothers burying their sons who died of AIDS, and the mothers would say, well, wait, I know my son was homosexual. The ignorance, unfortunately, was at that level. When my father passed away, I couldn't tell the average person what he had died from. As you can see, it's not a homosexual disease. This is affecting everybody, all walks of life.
Yo, who could it be? This is your boy R-U-P-E-E. It's all about live up, love, protect, and respect.
Together, we can all make the difference. So turn up the message and speak up now. Live up, love, protect, respect.
Tonight's business report is brought to you by the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, where you belong.
Starting today, local hoteliers started to gain access to a major aspect of the food and beverage concessions for the sector that were previously announced by government. The revelation came from Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Sue Springer, during the association's third quarterly meeting at the Hilton Barbados.
Yesterday, we had an incredible meeting set up by Roseanne Myers with the Revenue Commissioner from BRA, some of her senior representatives, the chairman, and myself, and Stuart Lane from BTII. It was a very, very, very successful and cordial meeting. And we have really good news. The concessions for proteins have been entered into the ESCUDA system. That is the system that is used at BRA. Thus allowing for hotels to now apply, you have to go through the application, for duty-free concession for meats and fish. The process is exactly the same as the alcohol, and you can start ordering from today.
A regional economist is telling Barbadians not to expect 2% or more economic growth in the short term. Group economist with RBC Financial Caribbean, Marla Dukaran, says she expects growth in the island's major money-earning tourism sector to continue. This is once the US and UK economies continue to strengthen and oil prices remain below $80 a barrel. However, she told an audience at the recent Royal Fidelity Investor Forum she has to agree with an IMF assessment that a positive movement of 2% will not take place until 2020. She says in the meantime, Barbados has to make adjustments to its economic strategy.
On my second point, I am of the personal view that a domestic debt restructure would be beneficial, not just for the balance sheet of the government, but also for the wider economy, as it would give the government some breathing space. But alongside this, of course, the government would have to implement certain reforms to make sure that they don't get right back into the same position. Reforms like implementing fiscal rules and so on, so that you can make sure that you are in a healthier fiscal position in the long term.
However, Ms. Dukaran appears impressed with the island's foreign exchange cover.
We have 15.6 weeks of imports, which I have to tell you is quite comfortable, especially when oil prices are at the lows that we are currently seeing. I mean, there are countries in this region like the Bahamas and Suriname that have less than 3 months of import cover. So 15.6 weeks is quite commendable. But I want you to note that the big jumps that you see in this chart at the end of 2013 and a couple of times onward were not organically derived in the sense that the economy brought US dollars in via tourism. These were largely due to borrowing.
Here's how the stocks traded locally and regionally today.